out orders. Great to see another development program in this. And final section, this will also have a pace setter. Let's talk about that pace setter really quick. Rebecca Mara on the outside.
Yeah, Rebecca Mara is going to help these ladies run fast. Right now, the world lead is by Danny Jones out of Michigan at 4:28. So we'll see if they can crack that. But Rebecca Mara is running for LaFire. She has a donation link in her Instagram to help some of the fires that happened down in LA. So kind of cool.
Yeah, Rebecca's always been very outspoken in her effort to use her platform to raise awareness for a lot of issues. I know when she was living in Bend, she was helping people through difficult times as well, and certainly our hearts still go out to all the folks down in the LA region. We had teams from Pepperdine up here at the Dempsey, and that school had basically had to be evacuated for a portion of time. UCLA had to move to online learning because of the issues around Westwood and some of the evacuation orders there, and going to take a long time for those folks to get back into a routine of normalcy, but I think Rebecca doing what she can to raise awareness and encourage you, if you are in a position to help the folks in LA, doing it by checking out Rebecca's Instagram profile and using that link would be a great way to honor Rebecca's efforts here today, not only in helping the folks in LA, but also helping the folks here on the track. You see just, three to the left of her is Juliette Whitaker, back in that collegiate Stanford uniform after being in the Team USA uniform. An Olympic finalist coming back to college.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Got out Addie Townsend, the Canadian, 2 from the inside rail, wearing hip number 2. And we also have Kabia Gavadita, who's the Lithuanian, who was the standout at Oklahoma State. Bib 5.742, is now training in Eugene with Jerry Schumacher.
She's doubling back from the K last night.
And the biggest challenge here in the early going is Rebecca getting herself out of harm's way, and I think they're going to call them back.
That was a messy little 50 meters there. Everybody looking for that inside rail.
We'll see if we can go back and see what happened here at the start. I mean, there's just not a lot of room there,
Not a ton of room, no. Not a ton of room.
And Galvadita was one of those that said, are we really going back to start again? Mauricia Powell helping to walk those athletes back, and
maybe giving them a strict warning. Play nice.
So we'll try that again. You see LA Fire Relief on the back of Rebecca Mara. Again, our pace setter here. Next to her is Christy Schofield, NCAA 800-meter champion in her own right a couple of years ago. Whitaker, of course, NCAA indoor and outdoor 800-meter champion reigning. A little wrap around her knee, which never like to see that, but hopefully she's in a good spot, and everyone seems to be in a good spot here as it is take 2, and Rebecca Mara getting herself out there in front. Galvadita going to settle in right behind her, as will Whitaker, as they get the racing started here in this top invitational section at Miles City in the women's mile. Juliette Whitaker has never broken 4:30. That's kind of the mark to be looking at here. 4:30.92 is her best, so 800-meter runner going up to the bigger distance, and you got somebody like Mara who's so confident, so trusted by these women to be out there in front driving this train in the early going.
Yeah. Today's all about getting out, trusting yourself. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. You just have to get through the laps. it's kind of take the ticket, take the ride, and hope you can weather all the way through.
So Mara, Galvadita, then Whitaker, and then back to Mia Cochran. Now in that Washington singlet, a transfer from Arkansas, 4:34.70 is her lifetime best. And how about that opening quarter mile, 65.5. They've come to play.
Strong running.
They've come to play.
Yes, they have.
Jeanette Schraft, who ran at Iowa State, 4:36 mile PB, now slowly moving up and now behind Whitaker in fourth.
And for Whitaker, it's just about being patient here. This probably feels a little slow. It's almost like I'm trying to hold myself back, coming from that 800 background. But hopefully setting herself up to break 4:30 today.
Well, Mara's done her job. It's all a single file line here at the front. Galvadita and then Whitaker and Schraft. Now you see Stanford's Sophia Kennedy, one of those next generation famous names, moving up on the outside, trying to get herself in a position here. And what would Dad do in a race like this?
And I think the biggest thing for these milers is that you got one, maybe two moves, and that's about it. Once you get strung out like this, you got to play chess.
2:15.6 at the halfway mark. Mara moving to the outside. Mauricia Powell barking out orders on the backstretch to her team at the University of Washington. Now Galvadita, the All-American at Oklahoma State, formerly a 400-meter hurdle specialist that turned into, as they often do when they go to Oklahoma State, into a phenomenal distance runner, and she now takes the lead of this train, and Juliette Whitaker still in tow. And as they get closer to the finish of this race, if Whitaker has that 800-meter strength, she's going to be absolutely deadly in the final race strategy here. Grace Featherstone, the former Oregon State Beaver, top steeplechaser out of Canada, in third. Coming to 3/4 way. We'll get the split here momentarily.
No, they're moving. It's just how, did they slow up at all, or are they going to do it?
3:22.6 at 3/4 of the way home. And Galvadita in the lead with Whitaker and Featherstone. Bell lap here at the Dempsey.
Here we go. See if her legs feel that K from yesterday, but she looks pretty strong.
And love how Whitaker has stayed with these folks all the way here. The 800-meter specials maybe given one place away here with Featherstone now into second. Galvadita again coming back is now taking herself out of harm's way of any sort of competition. Featherstone is going to try to reel her in here in the ladder going. Whitaker doing all she can to stay in this race as well. It's going to be quick miles all around here, looking for sub 4:30, and we're going to get that and more as Gabia Galvadita is going to take this race and get herself under 4:30 in the race, and Whitaker will wind up, it looks like, in fourth as Hannah Egan caught her in the final few strides. 4:27.96 for Gabia Galvadita as she takes the victory, her first ever sub 4:30 performance.
And the fastest time in the world. Not a bad weekend.
Welcome to the West Coast.
Welcome.
What impressed you about her race?
Oh, that she took control right away. She had a game plan of running fast and came out here and did it. But Whitaker, almost, 4:31. That's a real show of strength to run such a good K last night with Sinclair Johnson and then double back today and run 4:27 for the fastest time in the world. That's a good 24 hours of training.
So fast